Race and ethnicity in the workplace. What is discrimination in the workplace? Racial discrimination in the workplace can be defined as an exclusion, restriction, or preference based on color, descent, or national or ethnic origin, which has the purpose of impairing an employee's ability to exercise their rights to equal standing in the workplace. Discrimination in the workplace based on race, color, ethnicity, and/or national origin is prohibited under state and federal law. Discrimination is prohibited in all employment practices, including hiring, work assignment, pay, and promotion. The primary federal laws that address racial discrimination in the workplace fall under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. In large part, the section often referred to simply as Title VII prohibits employers from failing or refusing to hire an employee based on their race, firing or disciplining an employee because of their race, paying an employee less or providing them fewer benefits on account of their race, failing to provide benefits, promotions, or opportunities to an employee because of their race, and improperly classifying or segregating employees or applicants by race. Despite the fact that there are laws and regulations that prohibit racial and ethnic discrimination, there is evidence that discrimination continues to occur in the workplace. The Harvard Business Review noted in an article dated October 11, 2017, that hiring discrimination against Black Americans has not declined in 25 years. The authors conducted a study and looked at two different hiring methods. They examined resume audits that are done through mail or online, where fictitious resumes are submitted with equivalent qualifications and ethnically identifiable names. They also looked at in-person audits that are done with trained pairs of testers, white and non-white, where participants apply for jobs. The rates of callbacks or invitations to job interviews for white and non-white applicants with equivalent qualifications were examined. The callback rates showed evidence of discrimination against both Black and Latino applicants. The results indicated that since 1990, white applicants received 36% more callbacks than Black applicants and 24% more callbacks than Latino applicants with identical resumes. The authors concluded that at the point of hire, Blacks remain substantially disadvantaged relative to equally qualified whites and that there has been little improvement of progress over time. Looking at discrimination in sports, Sport Business Journal discusses a case of blatant discrimination and harassment in the Miami Dolphins locker room. The issue involves a white football player, Richie Incognito, continually degrading and bullying a Black teammate, Jonathan Martin. The article provides a commentary on the issue and concludes that there must be a new, enforceable demand from both teams and the NFL that players have a right to enjoy a workplace atmosphere free from prejudice, hostility, coercion, bullying, or any other mental or physical mistreatment. Sports Business Journal also covered a story about a race discrimination lawsuit brought by 18 current and former African American employees of Chicago's Nike Town store in 2003. The suit claims that Nike Town, quote, systematically discriminated against these workers in hiring, promotions, benefits, and workplace discipline, thus subjecting them to a hostile environment, end quote. The suit also alleges that African American customers, including Bulls Tyson Chandler and 3 Packers players, quote, were subject to greater scrutiny and monitoring at the Nike Chicago store, end quote. Nike settled this lawsuit for $7.6 million in 2007. While these examples illustrate the fact that there is still work to do, a great deal of progress has been made and the workplace is becoming more and more diverse. Companies increasingly understand the value of recruiting and retaining diverse employees. Diversity plays a critical role in a company's ability to adapt, grow, and develop new products and services. Different employees from different cultures with diverse perspectives leads to innovation and is considered vital to a company's sustainability. This short 1-minute video illustrates diversity and its benefits. Sports Business Journal recently did a story about John Wooten, who is currently chairman of the Fritz Pollard Alliance, a nonprofit that promotes the advancement of minority coaches, scouts, and executives. In 2002, Wooten became involved in the fight against unfair hiring practices in the NFL. He worked with others to apply pressure on the NFL, causing the league to form a diversity committee to study the matter, and named Pittsburgh Steelers owner Dan Rooney as chair. About 2 months later, owners passed the Rooney Rule, which required teams to interview at least one minority candidate before selecting a head coach. Today, that rule also applies to coordinator jobs. Minority coaches and coordinators have found success in the NFL as a result of this rule. Despite the benefits of fostering diversity in the workplace, a Harvard Business Review article entitled "We Just Can't Handle Diversity" by Linda Burrell discusses the fact that although no one disagrees with the benefits of diversity, it is actually very hard to use merit as the basis of hiring and performance decisions in the workplace. The author states that in reality, organizations are not good at evaluating people objectively, even when leaders are committed to fairness. Stereotypes cause them to evaluate and treat equal performers differently. Burrell notes that when hiring decisions are made, race, gender, and ethnic stereotypes had an impact on the hiring decisions. Decisions were made on the basis of subjective qualities such as polish or assertiveness. In these cases, the benefit of the doubt went to white males. Stereotyping and subtle bias are reasons that fostering diversity in the workplace is so challenging. Stereotyping is defined as an oversimplified attitude people hold towards those outside one's own experience who are different. They are a result of incomplete or distorted information accepted as fact without question. A stereotype is simply a widely held belief that an individual is a member of a certain group based on characteristics. Due to the process of overgeneralization, stereotyping leads to a great deal of inaccuracy in social perception. Subtle bias is not overt and is often unintentional. Subtle bias demonstrates itself as micro-inequities and microaggressions in the workplace. These topics will be covered more in depth in the workshop. In conclusion, despite the fact that great strides have been made to eliminate racial and ethnic discrimination in the workplace, it still exists. Organizations need to embrace diversity and ensure that everyone is hired, evaluated, and promoted based on merit. As individuals, we need to avoid stereotyping people and become more accepting of people who are different than us.